we go. Okay. What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing? You Control You podcast. Mark Shaw Evans, your host. The the one and only, I guess I could say. I'm very unique. We always start the podcast with what I'm grateful for. I want to wait and let some people fill in a little bit. So, I had an eventful, uneventful weekend. Does that make sense to you, Corey?
It kind of does.
I had tons of running around to do and driving to do, but I didn't have a lot to do. So that made it a little crazy. So, yeah, I hope everybody else has had a great weekend. Monday, I love doing the podcast on Monday because it's like, I always look at Monday as a great day. Other people look at Monday like, it's the start of the week, and I love Mondays. I love Mondays. The schedule gets back to normal. I know exactly what I'm doing at what time, and I like that very much. The weekends can be a little chaotic with family things, so, but yeah. So we'll get the party started. I'm extremely grateful to be 44. I've really been having this I don't know. I guess you could call it a midlife crisis. I don't know what to call it. But really recognizing how blessed I am to be 44, how blessed I am to be here, and how simple life is. And I'm at this age where I'm like, why are so many people getting upset about things? Like, why are you mad right now? Why are you upset? Why are you letting this bother you? Why are you... And it's not even that people get upset. It's like, why are you reacting to that? I think that's the biggest thing when I look at the world. Like, they're reacting to certain things. They're having this major reaction to things, and it's like, cool, it's upsetting to you, but why are you reacting based on this? Why are you, what's the word they use in society? Why are you letting it trigger you? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what is going on? And I mean that across the board. Before I even get into the topic, it's like people across the board, and whether it's politics, whether it's men and women, whether it's this, it's like we have lost the capability of having a difference of opinion without someone getting triggered and saying the most messed up things in the world to try to hurt someone else's feelings. It's like, aren't we grown? Can we have a civil conversation? And it just lets me know that we live in a world that's probably too soft. Hey, what's up?
Editor of rappers.
Yeah, editor of rappers. Yeah, sorry. So what's up, Facebook and YouTube and TikTok? I appreciate y'all tuning in. So I'm just grateful to still be here at 44. I'm grateful that I've had the ability to not conform to society's rules. I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm grateful that I walk a lot of times on my own path by myself and not a sheep. So I'm grateful that I was given that gift to be disagreeable, to be my own mind, to not let things always trigger me and upset me. So, yeah. Man, that's like a whole conversation right there.
Especially me dealing with the young adolescents and how they respond to calls and reps and things that don't go their way.
Yeah.
And the fight that happened outside the facility between teams of fifth graders and
Where'd
all
that
types
happen?
of stuff like that. What?
Where'd that happen at?
At the Chicago tournament.
Oh my goodness.
And the Chicago Showdown is a big AAU tournament, brings in folks from all over the
And they were fighting?
Midwest. Yeah, 2 fifth grade teams were fighting afterwards.
That's ridiculous.
I had to bench one of my players the last 5 minutes because of his body language. And
That's crazy.
He came into the huddle and said, "This is why we're not winning."
That's crazy. Man, I'm good, editor. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? That's crazy to me. Like, this is, I'm not, good morning, Barbara. How are you? This is a weird thing for me because I came from a household where there was a lot of beating going on. And I don't put my hands on my kids. It's just, there's a line you don't cross in society. And I feel like, I don't feel, let me get rid of that. I don't like it when people say that. People haven't been smacked in the mouth enough, or they haven't been I like to call it chin checked or whatever. And it's like people believe they can say whatever they want and get away with it because there's no repercussions to it. And it's like, how long do we continue to live like that as a society where there's no repercussions to your actions? Like when I was younger, if I did something wrong, I knew there were repercussions. The goal was not to get caught, right? Like it was almost a game of cat and mouse, where it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this wrong, they're gonna do this to try to catch me, or if I slip up, I'm gonna get in trouble. And if I thought about fighting after a basketball game, after a football game, after something, I would be so mad because we'd be running for so long. That day, the next week of practices, like we're just running. And like run until you throw up. And then keep running. So it's crazy to me. I'm doing well, Barbara. I'm doing well. Editor, why could you be better? What's going on? So, and as y'all are answering that, today's topic is balancing ambition and family when striving for greatness leads to losing sight of loved ones. So, this is a big topic for me. This is something that I talk about a lot with people in my life that have wives and kids, and they're struggling that work-life balance. And so it's, for me, it really hit home in my previous marriage. So, like most people, I worked a normal job, like what I would call normal. So I worked in a factory, and I was making yogurt. And in 2008, 2009, sold my house and decided I was gonna go conquer the music world. I couldn't do this anymore. I was despising my life, and I put everything into this. And at this time I had a daughter, so building that business became everything. Working a couple other jobs became everything. So I'm constantly working. Now, when I eventually got married for the first time and had my son, that was the thing. I was working and working a job and building a business and grinding it out. And I mean grinding it out. So it was being at home with my son, but he was a baby, so it was like answering emails, doing phone calls, get him a bottle, hold him, change him, put him back to sleep, and rinse and repeat, right? And then as he got older, it was hanging out with him, answering emails, hanging out with him, answering emails, hanging out with him, and being a dad. And then when he would take a nap, take the phone calls. And then when at the time when my ex-wife would get home, leave the house, go do meetings, go do events, go do these things. When it was tour time, it was working out this entire schedule. It was constantly like, I'm not gonna stop working. And then get home from the events or the shows and work, because now nobody's awake. So now let me do some work because nobody's around. Go to bed super late, wake up early, and do this life. And then when he went to school, just kept grinding it out. And then when I thought I was putting in hours then, but then when I took over, when I bought the gym, when I took over the gym, it was my schedule went haywire. All of a sudden, I'm working 10, 12 hours a day, not getting home until super late. It was a grind, and you do that 7 days a week. You know, you're looking at what, 70 hours? 70-hour weeks, and it was like, yeah, it takes its toll. I'm not showing up for family events like anybody. If it was my kid's birthday or something, that's different, but other birthday parties I wasn't able to come to because I'm working. I always got a fighter getting ready for the next fight. I'm training and I'm fighting. Not able to do family reunions, go out, hang out with friends. Like I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm plugged in, just to grind. And my thought process at that time is I need to make this business, right? I need to make this business successful for my kids, for my family, so I could support them, so I could pay these bills, so I can build up a college fund, so I could do all these little things to help them be better off in their life than I was. And it was crazy. It's a crazy lifestyle. Working 60 to 70 hours a week is bananas. On top of, and what's funny is that I was doing all that and I thought, okay, I was still able to do community work because at that time, this was before COVID. So I still have my hip hop programs in schools. So I would be at one high school 2 days a week, another high school 2 days a week. So I'm fitting that into my schedule as well. So there was no time. I'm busting my butt, building programs, building this business, and doing what I got to do. And I'm doing it for me, but I'm also doing it to give my family a better life. I'm sacrificing sleep. I'm sacrificing all this stuff, time, fun, to build these things up. And when I get home, I'm just hearing that I'm not doing enough at home, and I got to be around more, and I got to do this, and it's like this misunderstanding and miscommunication, because in my mind, I'm doing this all for my family, and I believe that's where a lot of us get it twisted. Now, I'm not going to speak on women on this one because I'm not a woman, but for men, it's something in our DNA. You can argue with that. I know they want to talk about, well, I identify as this. Cool. I'm going to speak on the fact that it's in my DNA to protect and provide. I'm a caveman then. Like, if that's how you look at that stuff, I'm a caveman. Protect and provide. And that's all I know. So my job is to provide for my family. And I'm going to work as much as humanly possible to make that happen. And it was the most confusing and aggravating time in my life because I'm being told that I'm not being a good husband, I'm not being a good dad, I'm not doing these things, but I'm on the grind working, and I'm like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for all of you. So, and I'm like, if I spend like 30 minutes to an hour with my kids and they got my whole attention, what is the issue here? Because most parents don't even get that much time with them. And when it came to my daughter, I was getting even more time because she was training at my gym and fighting under me. So I was getting tons of time with her as a coach and as a dad. So, and then I switched my entire schedule around to be able to coach my son's football team so I could, when he was in like, I don't know, I want to say first, second grade, something like that. And so I could really be around and make sure I'm there for that. And so it was like, it was a journey for sure. And what I've learned as I move forward is that you don't want to get lost in that rat race where you're doing it for your family, but you're not there for your family. If that makes sense to everybody. Have I ever played chess? I play chess that's my morning routine now. I've added that in my morning routine. I play, so on chess.com, you can I'm not going to pay for the puzzles, but they allow you to do like 5 or so free. Yeah. So I do that for free, and then I play 1 or 2 games while I'm drinking some coffee and drinking water. So and I might even do it before, because I wait usually 40 or 45 minutes before I have coffee. So I might get 1 chess game in. But 1 or 2 chess games a morning is what the king never moves. I think I know what you mean on that one, but can you go deeper on that one? Can you keep scrolling, Corey? You believe it good, then I'll just forget about everything they taught me about neutralizing you. What is he talking about?
Is there something up before? Nice tile that reminded me of
I wonder if he says something. I don't know what he means by that, but okay, it's fine. But good morning, Divine.
Give you a heart.
Oh, Irene, thank you. So the whole reason I'm speaking on this is because we get told all the time. All these podcasts say men need to go work all the time, women need to stay at home. We should go provide for these women, and women should respect that, and da 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 da. And that's all well and good, and some of it's even true. What is the point of grinding and making all this money and providing for our family if we're not going to be there for our family? And that's the thing that we can lose sight of, and we can really get caught up in, is let's go work 70 hours a week so we can provide for our family, but then we're not going to put the same energy into the household, because let's face it, I don't care who you are. If you're putting in 50 to 70 hours a week into work, your energy level is going to feel like dog crap by the time you get home. This is where I had to learn that there's got to be another switch. I have to still come home with the same energy that I went to work with. And I can't always do that. But I got to make sure that I show up and play games anyway. I got to show up and do the things anyway. I got to show up. I got to go to family events and things anyway, within reason, right? Within reason. So the balance isn't really 50-50. The balance is what's more important. So, like, I didn't go to the family vacation a couple weeks ago. I was just gone. My wife and I were gone for a work event for a week. We planned this work event for Thailand next month, end of this month, next month. Like, I don't have the time. Plus, I got to take Christmas time off now. That's something new that I've only done the past few years, to go so we could do the family thing. Well, that's too much time off work. I can't do that. I'm not in that place yet in my business where I could take that much time off work. So now there's a sacrifice. My wife went on family vacation. I held the house down, which worked out great for the dog, for my son, everything else. So it's not, the balance isn't 50-50 for me. The balance is finding where I don't know what this dude's talking about. I'm sorry. I'm losing track of mine. But for me, that was a big thing, is realizing it's not 50-50, realizing that it's important that I'm at the events that I need to be at. Even this weekend, my sister-in-law is having her, they call it they call it floats or something. It's just basically a big barbecue party type thing where there's outdoor games and root beer floats and food and all this stuff. Well, my fighter has a championship fight this weekend. I ain't making that. And there's nothing I could do about it. But I make sure that, again, that I'm showing up for my wife and making sure things are getting done in the household, or I'm just available at some time. And so it's really, when I say balance, I don't mean 50-50. I mean, it's finding what works for you and works for your significant other. So it's, sorry, I'm pulling up some notes that I had on this. Then when I go further, the here, I'm gonna answer some questions first. Wait.
Go up or start with Divine?
Let's go. Okay, let's look at Irene. Does the man have audacity to cheat on his wife because he thinks that the wife is not available? What? That's not even part of the topic I'm talking about.
I'm trying to scroll up, but I think most.
Oh man, if that's the case, I want to play. Okay, I don't know. My brother's a doctor. Just learned Dr. Shark Priscilla. Okay, just I don't know what he's talking about as far as a doctor. They're talking about different things. Yeah. I tried to do the balancing. I realized what I felt secure and wasn't secure. I'm single now. 50-50 is both of them have to work. No, what I mean is 50-50. I mean, you can't give 50 to say when you are running your own business. If you work for someone else, I would say it's different. But when you are running your own business, you can't say, well, I'm gonna give 50% of my time to the business and 50% of the time to my family. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way because your business is gonna always need more, at least at the start. It's gonna need more. Until you can get to a point where you can hire people to do certain things, to take over some of the workload from you, you're doing a lot of the work. And so it is what it is. And for someone like me, I know, and it upsets my wife sometimes. Like, I'm not content with just the one thing. Most people might be content with just the gym, but the gym wasn't my only end goal. This podcast is a job. Social media is a job. The clothing brand, the branding period, and getting it everywhere is a job of itself. So thinking of new ideas and constantly working on the different businesses, writing this book, like basically I am a walking business. And it's constantly finding new ways to try to capitalize off of that, right? And so it's not 50-50. That's what I mean by 50-50. And so, whoa. So wait a minute. Scroll. Wait a minute. Can you go?
Go up.
The hubby makes more money. Well, wait a minute.
Or do you want me to go down? See
That's fine. The hubby makes more money. Lures him to other women while operating his business, though. Wait, what are they talking about? Okay, Irene came home on his birthday and our anniversary. He was out cheating and we broke up.
I can scroll up.
Yeah, my gym has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's called the Blast Muay Thai, but it has BJJ. So, okay, I don't, it seems like, oh, Journey's dope. They're right. They just moved right around the corner from us. Journey is really dope. So yeah. So here's this one's gonna get me. Before I go into defining greatness, this one's gonna get me because I see I have some women in here. This is why I truly believe. Well, one, I'll say communication is a key, but a lot of times I believe women are suited better to not work 50 to 70 hours. And this is why. Men are big babies. And if we're not getting the physical attention that we need, sometimes we act really immature and we do it somewhere else.
Yes, I agree.
And when women on the flip side, and not saying women don't need that attention, but a lot of times it's why a woman can be at home and not work as much and be happier and not cheat. And I'm not making excuses. That's where, like I said, communication can come into play. Men shouldn't be sleeping with other women if they're married, like all that stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go sleep with another woman, right? That's just not going to happen. I'm grown, and my age doesn't define my grownness. I have elevated past chasing the skirts, as I would say. There's no reason for me to chase it. There's no reason for me to go after it. If I need to chase skirts, that's a whole nother problem going on in the household. Or better yet, something lacking within me if I'm chasing skirts, right? So,
This is an interesting take.
we are more understanding about the lack of intimacy. We pout, not react. Yeah, like, but let me defend all the men. It's a visceral thing. Like, if I go too long, first of all, so my appetite for certain things are like, it's high. If I go too long, like, I start to get cranky like a woman, like women do when they're hungry. I don't get hangry. I get I don't know. I get cranky, right? If it's too long. Like, I don't want to wait too long for it. I'm patient, right? But because then I'm gonna get cranky. And it's not like I'm purposely getting cranky, so it's like, but how about the manipulating men use their wife? Why are we just bashing men? Like, hold on, Irene. Like, I'm a dude. Chill. Wait, Irene. Wait for the bashing. Well, you can keep doing it, but now you gotta stay with me now, because I'm eventually gonna get to it. But you gotta stay with me. No. She's like, she could do her thing, but let me get to it, because obviously she was hurt. Someone hurt her recently, or she hasn't got over the hurt. But my point is, no, Irene, you're good. Just you gotta stick with me for a while so I can come back to that. I'll come back to that. Just give me time to come back to that, right? Like, let me stay on topic for a minute, right? So as we continue forward, right? My next thing was, like, in regards to, working too much and be trying to do your best to become great. What is greatness? And what does that mean to you, right? What does that mean to you? And how do we measure success? Now, if we go by society's rules, and if we listen to these, what do they call them, red pill podcasts now? Men define success by money. And to me, that's the trap. That's the trap right there. They got you stuck in this rat race, right? I'm not successful just because I have money. Yes, I need money. I have bills. I have things to pay for, groceries to go get. Money is important. But when you are just doing something to chase money, money's going to come and go. I do my businesses because I genuinely love them. I love what I do. And honestly, if I had enough money to pay my bills the rest of my life and make sure my kids were good and groceries, all that, I would do what I do for free in a heartbeat. Upsets my wife to no end, but I would, right? So what I've learned, and I'm a person that used to chase money, legally or illegally. Greatness is my legacy with my family. So now I think, well, before I do something, is it worth it? How much is this going to take away from my family? When I wanted to do the podcasting, when I wanted to work on my book, when I wanted to start branding, it was like, I had to really think, how is this going to affect, right? How is this going to affect my family? And then I had open conversations with my wife about it. There's certain things that I've thought about doing that I've chose not to do because it would take away from my family and wouldn't give me the amount of joy that I would need. The sacrifice wasn't worth it, right? Getting into politics. I'm always asked, run for alder, run for alder, run for alder, do this. And I think about it every time I'm asked, and I declined because I don't want it bad enough to take away the time from my family. And so for me, greatness is not just personal success. It's bigger than that for me. It's my legacy, my family. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be around my kids 24/7. It means that they are going to know I'm there. I'm not going to miss out on many things. I'm going to be a great influence on them because the moment I'm working too much, I'm no longer influencing my kids. Somebody else is influencing my kids. And I feel very blessed that I was able to be a great influence on my daughter. I hear it when she talks to her friends. I hear it when she talks to her man. I hear it when she's like, there's so many sprinkles of me in that girl. Great. Well, I'm making sure I'm doing the same thing for my son, making sure he comes out and becomes a better man than me. And I have these in-depth talks with him, and I have these engaging conversations. And sometimes it's, hey, I got to chew his butt out, right? I got to let him know, hey, that demeanor isn't on point right now. Or stand up tall, look me in my eye. This is how you shake a hand type of deal. Like, and go forward. And so greatness to me is the legacy that I'm leaving behind with my kids. If I don't reach my financial goals, yeah, cool. But when I'm dead, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm gonna look and say, are my kids better than me? Did I leave them better off than me? Did I help them become wiser than I was at that age? Those are the things that I look at. Did I set my wife up in a good position to be successful even when I'm not here? And so those things to me are defining for greatness. Now I'm curious, what do you all define? How do you define greatness, right? Because the one thing I heard it from Mike Tyson. He said, anybody that's done anything, I'm summing it up, anybody that's done anything great was not a good person. And I believe that. Because when you go to do something great, you become the most selfish individual known to man, and you have to be. You have to be. But that doesn't allow you time to be a good person. You don't get to hang out with people. You don't get to be there for people the way they need you to be. You can't be the father. I don't want to work 70 hours anymore. If I have to, then I will. But I'd rather spend that time with my son. I'd rather spend that time with my wife. And if I'm a sucker for that, then I'll be a sucker. But that means more to me. And it might sacrifice having tens of millions of dollars. It is what it is. So as we move forward, what was my impact? I'll speak from a first person point of view. The impact on my family when I was working all the time, there was always strife in the household. There was always, dad was there, right? But the husband wasn't there. Dad could be counted on, but my ex-wife couldn't count on her husband. And she felt like she was doing it all. And that sucks. And I didn't know how to properly communicate with her the way I do now. It's like, hey, if I would have known then, I would have told her straight up like, hey, if I take over this gym, it's going to be a 5 to 6 year plan here that's going to require 70 hours a week, and we're not going to get a lot of time. Are you sure you're cool with it? I just said this is going to be a lot of work. Like, I didn't break it down because I didn't even know. Now I do. Now I know how to tell my current wife, hey, if we do this, this is the cost. Because I've lived it. I understand it now. So I can properly communicate it. And that makes a big difference. When you could properly communicate something, then it gives them the option. Then you could talk about it. I loved how Kobe broke it down about his wife. He said we would sit down before the season and she would tell me the dates I have to be here, right? And that could mean that for him, he had the ability to do it, but that could mean he's jumping on a jet, getting home from out of town right away. Things of that nature. So when I think about the impact on my family, it took a really big emotional toll at the start with my first marriage, because neither one of us knew how to communicate properly. And as emotionally intelligent as I thought I was, I lacked the ability to look beyond logic. I could logically see how to solve the problem, but I didn't know how to emotionally help my partner. I didn't know how to emotionally communicate what was going on and why I was doing this. Because don't get it twisted, it's a need. Like, I felt like I had to do this. And there's nothing wrong with feeling like you want to build something for your family. But in the same token, you got to make sure that you're holding them down. So I basically covered all my notes. So can you scroll back up?
Yep.
Please, and thank you. So
I think probably here.
yeah, what is that? I don't know. You have a family? No, Grunge mini bikes? Yes, I have a family. I began trucking because we agreed it together, but as we see, I'm alone in it now. Yeah, it's the same that
Then she added.
I would have gave it up to be home if he would have been honest about it. Yeah, like you don't know until you're in there. And that's what people forget about when you live life. When you live life, you don't have the answers until you live it. Other people can give you advice and you can maybe tweak it off that and follow a different blueprint, but you still have to live your life. And when you walk that path, you got to be like, oh man, okay, we need to, and you got to be open and communicate from there. And people don't do that. It takes you being very vulnerable to be able to communicate like that and be able to be open about not just your feelings, but also about your needs and your wants, because there's a chance that other person can't show up for it. And that's painful. So that sucks. And like my ex-wife said, she could handle me working crazy, but we don't know until we're there. And then she couldn't. And it's basically the same thing. She went outside the marriage. So it was like so many things that could have been better communicated. And it was a fear when I came into this marriage. It was a major fear. It was like, am I setting myself up for the same thing? Am I setting myself up for failure here? Am I setting myself up for someone to do the same thing? And if I am, I am. It is what it is. I believe that I am a better man when I'm married. I believe I'm a better man when I have a family to take care of. I believe I'm a better man when there's a woman in that household. So let's go and call it a day. I feel like family matters more than anything. Yes, it does. It does. It. The thing is, how do you define family? Because for me, family wasn't blood. Like, I have family members that are my blood, and I love them to death, and like I would do anything for them. But a lot of the ones I feel like the group of guys that I grew up with, they're my brothers. They're like, there's not blood that connects us, but I would die for them. I'd take that bullet for them. So it's a weird thing, and that's, I had to learn that process, right? I had to learn that process. So can you scroll up more?
The last one, we had scrolled up. So I think we got all those.
What about Irene? What Irene said? Irene, are you still? Yeah, Irene's still here. What did she say that I was like, oh, we gotta?
Oh, yep.
Because Irene was coming at people. She was coming at men. Irene. How about the manipulating men using their wife financially? Okay, Irene. Oh, I love that. You can't pick your relatives, but you can choose your family. Woo! Bars. Bars. I like that. I like that. I like that. God made marriage for a reason. Family is love. Yes. The psychological struggles of married life. No wonder less and less people getting married now. Yeah, it's. This will lead me right into Irene. Hopefully Irene is still here. So, yeah, there's major psychological struggles of being married. But there's lots of psychological struggles of being single. No matter what, there's going to be struggle in life. If you're not struggling in your life, you're not living your life. You're stagnant. Because as you move forward in life, this is a new path that you are walking. You're gonna trip, you're gonna fall, you're gonna bang your knee, you're gonna slip up, you're gonna mess up. And we all forget how to deal with that crap like when we were toddlers or babies learning how to crawl and walk. We get back up, we brush it off, sometimes we shed some tears and we keep it moving. So I'd rather go through life having a partner by my side and struggle than be living my life by myself and being 100% selfish. Because that doesn't get me anywhere. Being 100% selfish doesn't help us. Being selfless, it's about doing for others, right? That's where we find our, boom, that's where I find my greatness, my true greatness is when I'm doing for others. And when I think about all my jobs and think about everything I'm building, my gym, I'm helping others. At home, I'm helping others. With this, I'm hopefully helping others. Like, everything I'm doing is helping others. My clothing line, like You Control You, all my branding, Seek Death, You Control You, The Blast, everything is about putting out this message, letting you know that you could do better in your life. You just got to keep moving forward. It's all to help someone else become a better version of themselves. So I'd rather go through that with a partner. But when you go through life with someone, at different points, you're going to slip and fall. So if I'm walking forward and my wife goes, boop, not only do I have to stop, right? I might have to help her up. I'd rather do that than just keep walking forward and falling and falling and falling. And I'm not able to help anyone. More importantly, nobody's there to help me. It's a give and take. And Irene, what I was going to say is, it sucks that you have so much pain still and a man manipulated you. Let's erase that. Let's erase that word. Maybe he did lie to you. Maybe he purposely did that, but maybe he also didn't know. How about when you both working hard and you are used to? Like you're being used? It sucks. Anytime you're being used, I say, Do you know for 100% fact that was their goal? So they got married to you knowing they just wanted to use you for your money. They got with you knowing they just wanted to get something out of you. Are you 100% factual that is the case? Did they tell you, yeah, that's what it was? Because a lot of times human beings, we're not, we're capable of both good and bad, right? So they could do all these bad things and still, that's what you see exactly. That's the point I'm getting to. So this person can be good, but doing bad things because they're going through their own stuff. And you, what it sounds like, from based on what you've said here, you're internalizing that with your own pain and your own hurt and your own cracked vision of yourself. And you're saying, this is what this person's doing to me. This is what they did to me. This is why they're with me. Yeah, so this person is extremely selfish. Irene said, and having baby mamas all over, spending all our family money. Yeah, they're wrong. Their actions are wrong, right? Actions wrong. Wrong. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means they're making bad choices and thinking about just themselves. Cool. Leave that situation, right? Hopefully you did. You remove yourself from that situation and you function and you work on being the best version of you. Then we have to go 50-50. Yeah, I hear you. It's a crappy situation. What I am saying to you though is if you've left, you must heal. If you stay, if you are staying, you must heal. No matter what, you have to heal. You have to. And you have to forgive, not for them, but for you, so you can let go of that pain. The scar is always going to be there, right? It's like they can't see it. Like I have scars on my body. Like we all have scars, right? We all have scars. Okay, so if you have, okay, cool. Stay right there. Irene said, I haven't have 3 kids together. And then Katie says, what if you're dealing with a narcissist? Well, cool. Let's play it. A narcissist is just a selfish person. They're just thinking about themselves because a narcissist, something happened to that person that caused that person utter pain. And now the only way they know how to do things is they just look out for themselves. It's triggered by something else. And I say all that so you can eventually learn empathy. That does not, now follow me here. When I talk about forgiving, when I talk about empathy, everybody's like, oh, you just got to put up with it. No, you don't. But forgiving is for you. When you can learn to forgive them, it starts to, it like cleans the wound, right? When you get cut, like the beauty of having melanin in my skin is that I keloid when I scar. So every scar leaves a mark on my body that will never go away. It doesn't fade over time. I see it the rest of my life. It's a reminder. But I don't have the same pain. So when you learn to forgive someone, right? When you honestly learn to forgive someone, you're cleaning your wound. It allows your wound to scab, heal, and there's always a scar. So you have a reminder, you know it's there, but over time the pain is just different. And then when you can learn empathy and understanding, then you move differently because it's so easy to judge. It's so easy to say, they're a narcissist. This is what it is, blah, 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 blah. But in every religious text, in every philosophical book that you could read, it says, do not cast judgment onto others. It is not our place. Because in some ways, we're all a little narcissistic. In some ways, we'll put ourselves first. Right? If you had to choose between you and someone and a homeless person getting X amount of dollars, you might choose yourself. If you choose between, like, what, you get my point. I'm not going to keep throwing analogies out there. He makes more money than I do, but squeezes me to the last penny. So, like, maybe that's a different conversation now, right? Because you're hurt. And I'm telling you, you can't function in a relationship hanging on to hurt. So just because you have 3 kids doesn't mean you have to stay. And just because he's causing you pain doesn't mean you have to leave. You have to really take the time for yourself and map your own stuff out. Hey, what's up, Gregory? Oh, good. I'm glad I can help. Most definitely. So it's understanding that. And let me be clear. In my previous marriage, I was cheated on multiple times and stayed. But I didn't let go of the pain. And it caused more and more resentment. It caused more and more hurt. It caused more and more this. And all it did is it imploded inside me and my heart and my brain and made me feel crappier about myself. It made me feel like I was worthless. But once I could forgive and move on, I found my strength. I was able to stand back up. I was like, okay, I can shake this off. It's nothing. It's nothing. I didn't want to be there anymore. Like, I can't rock with you. The value system is different. What I value is different. That's okay. That's cool. Let's keep it pushing, right? And what I'm telling you is that don't use the kids as an excuse. I'm not leaving because we got 3 kids. No. You have to get to a point where I'm not leaving because I love him and we are going to figure a way out. We are going to figure our way through this. And I'm going to fight for it. Period. Because it's not the kids' reason you're going to blame the kids for staying. You're going to end up resenting them. I'm staying because I love this man and I believe that no matter what, even if he doesn't change, I love him for him. That's what you got to decide. You have to decide that if he doesn't change, you're going to love him for him. And if you can't do that, that's a different conversation. But don't stay there for them kids. Respect comes with love. If you can't respect your husband or wife, then the love is not there. For me, it's not how it affects the kids. That's how I decided whether I stay or go. That's what I've been doing, but still cheating. Okay, so let me ask you this question, Irene. Let's say he's still cheating, but he stops moving the money around. Do you care? A lot of women don't care. A lot of women don't care, where as long as their man isn't bringing anything back home, they don't care. And have you told them, well, like, okay, cool, let's stay married, but let's have an open relationship. I'm going to do me now. Right now, I'm raising a son who is 10 since he was 2. I feel you, Irene. You're in an interesting spot, and I say interesting because you have a choice to make. Irene, you have a choice to make. You have to forgive, to heal, and decide if you're going to stay or go. The kids cannot be the kicker. Because what happens when those kids are grown and they're out? Then what? Well, I've already put this much time in. Like, you see how that sounds? And I'm not encouraging you to leave. I'm saying, does the cheating bother you? Or is it the lying? Because what I realized being cheated on, yeah, the kids are innocent, but you're not, but because how can I word this? The kids are innocent, right? But what damage are you going to do to them if you can't forgive him and really make a go of it? You think they can't see that? You think they can't sense that? You can't change him, right? Only him can change. He's only got the capability to change himself. But what you can do is decide I love him. I'm rocking. This is where I want to be. I forgive him, and it's going to be what it is. Right? So this is why I'm saying, like, people don't think like this. They want the other person to change their behavior. Well, you can't change their behavior. Right? You can't. So, if the cheating bothers you, does the cheating bother you or does the lying? I despise the lying. I didn't like the cheating. I despise the lying. So, like, you got to decide what works for you, forgive it, and move on so you can keep getting your hustle on. And I'm going to say, start looking to where to put your foot down. Like, it's not that men aren't this complicated. Men are simple. And we could be tamed. It's just how it's done. Women always think if you come in, I'm not even getting into that in this episode. I'm just like, yes, you've gone through depression, not because stop blaming him. He's not the reason for your depression. You're the reason for your depression. Because there's something, you're hurting inside. You're hurting from what happened to you, what he's done to you. You're hanging on to it. Depression is caused by your past. Anxiety is caused by worrying about your future. So his actions, right? His actions may have caused the hurt. No doubt in that. He hurt you. But you held on to it. I feel you. I understand. You need to talk about it on another episode because I would like to know, sir. What is it that you want to know, Katie? So what I'm preaching here, what I'm talking about here is that, yes, he hurt you. But let's say he stops all the cheating. Let's say he stops all the outside sources. Let's say he stops putting out the money. He looks you dead in the eye. He's on his knees. He's crying to you. He says, I'm so sorry. I'm never going to do it again. That does not change what he's already done. So you will still be depressed, even though he's not doing it anymore because you're still hanging on to it. You control you, so you have the ability to let it go. You have the ability to forgive him. You have the ability to move on with your life. And when I say move on, I don't mean leave. I say move on in your own life. Stop letting that hold you back. Stop letting that be the excuse to keep you from achieving your greatness. Because right now, mama, you're stuck. You're stuck hanging on to all this pain, hanging on to it. Well, he did this to me and he did this to me. Yes, good. Well, the next step is healing that. That doesn't mean the pain, you think healing gets rid of the pain. No, the pain is still there. The pain is still there. What I'm saying is you have to get to a point where you can forgive. I didn't say none. Did I say mold? Did I say women need to mold them?
I didn't say mold them. I don't think that you used that term.
Yeah, I definitely didn't say that. Definitely didn't say that.
You did use tamed.
Tame, yeah. Tame is a different story.
Yes.
Tame and mold are not the same. Tame and mold are not the same. Not the same at all.
They tame a lion. They don't mold it.
Yeah. And you never get rid of its instincts. Corey just said you tame a lion, but you don't mold it. That's right. But it's still got those instincts. My wife has tamed me, right? She has tamed me. I decided not to go fight while I'm in Thailand because I just don't have that monster the same way. I don't. I'm tamed. I'm more civilized now. Oh, you good, Katie? Don't worry about that. I just want to make sure that we're good, that we understand. So
That may be an episode. I think.
yeah, we could definitely talk about that.
How to tame
Yeah.
a man.
Oof.
Well, maybe you need to bring your wife back on.
Man, it's really simple. It's really simple. It's really simple to tame a man. Thank you, L the Digital, I think, for the roses. If you've been sending roses and you've been sending stuff, man, thank you. I haven't been seeing them. I apologize. That's on TikTok. Thank you so much. Man, my goal is always to hit like 10 to 30. Actually, I think our next goal is like 30,000 likes and things of that nature. So I appreciate y'all so far. But Irene, seriously, I want you to scream it. I want you to yell it. I want you to cry it out. I want you to write it down. Pick up your phone and just cuss this man out. Don't cuss him out to him. Just make an audio file of it. Cuss him out. Make a video. Never put it anywhere if you don't want to. Get it all off your chest. Get it all off your chest. And forgive him and learn how to have that forgiveness. If you're going to stay, you're going to stay. If you're not, you're not. But forgiveness is a must for you. So you're no longer hanging on to that pain. And then, honestly, once you do that, you'll really know if you want to stay or not. Because, oh, you know what? I did forgive him. He's still doing that. Because you got to love him for where he's at. And I will say that's something different for this generation, because a lot of times women are told just to bounce. Oh, he's not where he's supposed to be, bounce. Love him for where he's at. He may never grow. He may never change. Love him. You love him where he's at. Or you don't, and you got to do what you got to do. You do love him. And it's because you love him, it hurts more. There's a saying, what is it? Once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. Did I hit that on point, Corey? Does that sound right?
Sounds accurate.
So, as a man, you got to know your place. And I'll speak to the men on this one. If you got a good woman, don't go out there sleeping with other women. And if you already know you want to do that, then be a buck. Because I don't want to make her mad, then she's not the one for you. She's not the one for you. Because there's plenty of women in this world that are good. They don't care if you sleep around. They don't care if you do what you got to do. Just be a buck. Be honest about it. If I knew I still wanted to chase skirts, if I wanted to sleep with other women, I'd just been honest about it. That doesn't mean I don't look, right? That doesn't mean I'm like, man, Shorty's bad. But I guarantee if Shorty walked up to me and started talking to me, I'd be like, no, I can't. I can't even engage with you. Can't even get in a conversation with you. If I even get a vibe, if I even think, nah, I can't rock with it. And there's women that I have not interacted with in the same way anymore because my wife has said, I think she's into you. I got to trust my wife's instincts on that because I want her to trust mine. Like, look, this dude is flirting with you. What you mean? He's not flirting with me. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's for sure flirting with you. I mean, I even remember a conversation. A guy said, "Oh, you know Muay Thai, so and you're a fighter. So you're telling me if guys come in the room, I need to duck behind you and you protect me?" First of all, what man does that? That's first. And I'm like, he's doing that because he's trying to build you up. He's trying to boost your ego and see where you're at because that's his way in. Oh, that's not that. No, I'm like, yes, trust me. That's a weak man trying to get in, doing weak man tactics. Trust on that. Us men know. So it's you gotta. But so I'm coming at the men. Like you gotta let them know because to me you're not a man if you're not letting her know that you want to be with other women. Hey, be 100 about that. You'll never hear a scandal about me being with another woman. There'll never be anything coming out me being with another woman. It just ain't gonna happen. So, and trust me, man, you'll be shocked on how women, because you can, and be honest, like if I wanted to chase skirts, there's no way I'm handling my wife sleeping with someone else. No way. And if it takes you a while to find the woman that's okay with that, then you take a while. But you walk into that letting them know, like, hey, I'm probably going to want to sleep with more than one woman, but I don't want you sleeping with another man. Well, that's not fair. Cool. We're not meant to be together. Like, well, that's wrong. How is it wrong? This is what I want. You don't want the same things. Our values don't equal out. We're good. Well, I don't want us to break. Well, hey, then you deal with it then. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a cheater. I've always been cheated on, bro. So wait a minute. Let me go back. Okay, so you confront them with the truth, but still deny and lie? Then, like I said, love this person for where they're at. This person is all about self and doesn't want to come clean because they're worried about losing you. That's not fair to you. The world isn't fair, though. So you have to decide, is this where I want to be or is this not where I want to be? I forgive you, but I don't want to be with you no more. Right? I'm not a cheater. I've always been cheated on, bro. Hey, I feel you. I feel you. What I would say is, what kind of women are you picking? And maybe slow it down before you jump all in. And have you ever thought about asking them why they cheated? More than likely, even if they put it on you, it's something lacking in them. But if it's something lacking in them, then why you keep attracting? Because I had to chin check myself. It's like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I picking the same kind of women? Right? Okay. I'm picking women. And even my current wife, I pick women that have messed up relationships with their dads. I don't know. And it's probably because I had a non-existent relationship with my father and a really traumatic, messed up relationship with my stepfather. So it's like the pain comes together. Now my current wife, she was raised old school. So none of those girls, there's five girls. None of them step out on their husbands. None of them, like, as far as I know, like, they're ride to die. Like, ride to die for real. And so, but you see it come out in other areas, right? That I seen with my ex-wife and that I even seen with my daughter's mom. So I know I picked these kind of women. I know that. It's what I'm attracted to. It is what it is. I've just gotten smarter about what I'm going to put up with, right? And you got to be smarter with what you put up with. So they claim poly afterwards, shaking my head. Let's be transparent. Some have been trauma bonding. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So it's like, oh, wow.
What was that?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a huge heart. I don't know what that was. Yeah, join my team. But, like, when I really, we all have, what is trauma? We all have pain. I'd rather, like I said earlier, I'd rather live that pain with someone and figure it out. And so, yeah, that's exactly it. We try to give them love that we've never had. That's exactly how I raise my kids. It's how I am with my wife. And I've learned that what I used to call patience was allowing myself to get ran over. And now I have patience, but I have a threshold, right? And so you learn from it, you grow, You keep living, you keep pushing forward, and that's all you can do. To be honest with you, that's all you could really do. So, man, that pretty much wraps up this episode. Man, I thank y'all so much. I tried to break chains and it broke me because I stayed too long. It did not break you. It did not break you. We have to learn to change the wording. It did not break you. If it broke you, you would be dead. You are not dead. It hurt you. It did not break you. You did not break. You fell and got back up. You are very welcome, Katie. You're very welcome. And I appreciate all of you. This is my goal. This is what we do every Monday about 10:30 a.m. Central. So make sure you set it for your notifications. Make sure you follow. I do have a couple videos that you could subscribe to. I will be having more videos coming out. If there's anything you want me to touch on, you got questions, I know Katie, please send me a reminder. DM me the reminder you want me to talk about how women can help tame men. It's I will tell you that the man has to want to be tamed, but Divine, stop apologizing. You haven't done nothing wrong. Man, you ladies, you know what? You ladies, I need y'all to come in every live because there's nothing to be sorry about. You're learning. You don't have to apologize. You didn't hurt my feelings. Make time, please, next time to talk about financial exploitations from our partners. Yo, well, hit me with a direct question. What exactly cool, you want me to talk about that, but what specifically do you want me to talk about when it comes to that? Like, how is he exploiting you? Don't put it on here. DM me. DM me how he's exploiting you, and then we can get into a conversation. Katie, send me that. Divine, send me a question that you might want me to talk about. And
I like this person.
my name doesn't matter. Is always sending me videos. I get more DMs from that person than anybody else. And thank you for always constantly supporting. I appreciate you. And look, I haven't said this, but I will make specific videos for people, and I will send you motivational stuff, and I will try to do my best to keep your head upright, and never shy away from messaging me. I may not get to it right away, but I get to you, I promise. I appreciate y'all. If you're just new to the channel, make sure you check out some of the clips that are already online on TikTok. I love y'all so much, man. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, I appreciate y'all so much. Holla at y'all later. Let's go. We out. Peace. That was a good video.